The grand hall of the Aurelian Empire was silent in a way that felt heavy, not peaceful, not calm, heavy. Thousands of alien nobles stood in perfect lines. Their glowing eyes faced a crystal throne at the far end of the hall. The air shimmered with soft blue light from energy pillars that reached the high ceiling. Every sound echoed, every breath, every small movement. At the center of it all sat the queen, Queen Seralith of Aurelian. She was tall, calm, and still, her silver crown floating just above her head. Her expression showed no fear, no pride, only control. Empires listened when she spoke. Wars ended when she lifted one hand. Around her stood elite royal guards, towering alien warriors in golden armor. And among them, almost invisible, stood a human. His name was Aaron Hale. He wore no gold armor, only a simple black guard suit, borrowed and adjusted to fit his smaller body. His boots were worn, his gloves old. Compared to the alien guards, he looked fragile, ordinary. He was not meant to be here. Aaron was a temporary security consultant, a human soldier invited only because humans had survived wars no one else had. Still, most nobles believed he was decoration, a symbol, not a real shield. Aaron stood 2 steps behind the queen's throne, eyes moving slowly across the hall. He did not look at the queen. He watched the crowd. Years of war had trained him to feel danger before he could name it. Noise patterns, body tension, hands that moved too carefully. Something was wrong. The queen began to speak. "Today," she said, her voice smooth and clear, "we mark a new era of unity." That was when the lights flickered. Just once. Very fast. Most did not notice. Aaron did. His eyes snapped to the left side of the hall. An alien noble stood there, tall and thin, wearing deep red robes. He was supposed to be a trade ambassador from the outer systems. His posture was calm. Too calm. Aaron saw the noble sleeve shift, just a little. Not enough for others to see. Enough for a soldier. Aaron's heart slammed in his chest. Weapon. Not a blade. Not a blaster. Something smaller. Faster. A micropulse shooter. Aaron did not think. He moved. The alien noble raised his arm. Time slowed. The queen was still speaking, unaware. The shooter activated with no sound at all. A thin line of white light tore through the air. Aaron threw himself forward. The shot hit him in the chest. Pain exploded through his body like fire. He crashed into the steps of the throne, hard. His body twisted. His breath left him in a sharp, broken sound. The white light burned through his armor and into flesh. Blood spread across the crystal floor. The hole erupted. Screams. Shouts. Guards moved all at once. The queen stopped speaking. Her eyes dropped. She saw the human on the floor. She saw the blood. For the first time in many years, Queen Seralith froze. "Assassin!" someone shouted. The alien noble turned to run. Royal guards surged forward, but the crowd was chaos now. Nobles scattered. Energy shields flared. The assassin vanished into the confusion. Aaron lay still. The pain was too much to scream. His vision blurred. The ceiling lights bent and twisted above him. He tasted metal. He heard distant voices, but they sounded far away, like echoes underwater. The queen stepped down from her throne. Guards shouted for her to stop. "Your Majesty, it is not safe." She ignored them. She knelt beside the human. No ruler of Aurelian had ever knelt for anyone. Her hands hovered over his chest. Warm blood coated her fingers. The wound was bad. Very bad. Alien weapons were not designed for human bodies. Aaron tried to breathe. It felt like glass in his lungs. His eyes opened slightly. He saw silver light. The queen's face filled his vision. Not angry. Not afraid. Shocked. "You," he whispered. His voice was weak, broken. "You alive?" The queen swallowed. "Yes," she said softly. "Because of you." Aaron's lips twitched. Almost a smile. "Good," he whispered. Then his eyes rolled back. His body went limp. "No," the queen said. Her voice was not loud, but it carried through the hall. "He will live," she said, as if speaking to the universe itself. Medical drones rushed in. Alien healers followed, their tools glowing with urgent light. They tried to lift Aaron. The queen did not move away. She placed one hand on his shoulder. "I am not leaving," she said. The healers hesitated. No one argued with the queen. They worked around her. The grand hall, once a symbol of power, now felt small, silent again. But this silence was different. It was full of shock. Whispers spread like fire. A human saved her. He took the shot. He did not hesitate. The queen watched as the med drone struggled to stabilize Aaron. Human biology confused them. His heart beat fast, then slow. His breathing was uneven. "Can you save him?" the queen asked. The chief healer hesitated. "We will try," it said carefully, "but his kind is fragile." The queen's jaw tightened. "He is not fragile," she said. He stood where giants stood. The healer said nothing. Aaron was placed on a floating medical platform. As they began to move him away, the queen stood. The entire hall watched. "I am suspending this gathering," she announced. "Lock down the palace. Seal every gate. Find the assassin." Her eyes were cold now. "And prepare the highest medical chamber," she added. "For the human." A noble dared to speak. "Your Majesty, for one human." The queen turned slowly. The temperature in the hall seemed to drop. "He bled for this throne," she said. "That makes him more than enough." She followed the medical platform. She did not look back. Behind her, the crystal floor was stained with human blood, and the Empire would never forget where it fell. The palace medical chamber was filled with light, soft white light, cold blue light. Lines of energy moved like slow rivers through the air. Alien machines hovered and turned, scanning the human body on the floating medical bed. Aaron Hale did not move. His chest was wrapped in glowing seals. Thin wires connected to his arms, neck, and spine. A clear field of energy pressed gently over the wound, trying to stop the damage inside. The healers worked fast. Too fast. Human bodies were not built for alien weapons. The pulse shot had burned through muscle and bone. It had missed his heart by a narrow margin. A few millimeters more, and he would already be dead. The chief healer studied the readings in silence. "This should not be possible," it said at last. Another healer turned. "Explain." "The human heart still holds rhythm," the chief healer replied. "His lungs are damaged. Blood loss is extreme. Pain shock should have stopped his systems." "But it did not," the second healer said. "No," the chief healer agreed. "It did not." Queen Ceralis stood only a step away from the medical bed. She had removed her crown. That alone shocked the guards. She stood with her hands clasped behind her back, eyes locked on the human's still face. His skin was pale, too pale. His breathing came in short, uneven pulls. Every time his chest rose, the queen felt it like a strike. "Stabilize him," she said calmly. The healers exchanged a glance. "We are attempting," the chief healer replied. "But his biology resists our methods." "Then adapt," the queen said. Her voice was low. "Dangerous. Do not let him die." "Yes, your Majesty." Outside the chamber, the palace was no longer calm. The lockdown had sealed every hole and gate. Guards moved in squads. Drones scanned walls, ceilings, servants, everyone. The assassin had vanished, but fear remained. And rumors. They spread faster than any drone. A human took the shot. The queen stayed with him. She canceled the council. Nobles whispered behind closed doors. Some were angry. Some were afraid. Others were curious. Inside the medical chamber, time passed slowly. Minutes felt like hours. The healers injected stabilizing compounds made only for humans. Rare. Expensive. Usually reserved for study subjects. Aaron's heart rate jumped, then dropped. The alarm tone sounded. One long, sharp note. The queen stepped closer. "What is happening?" she asked. "His heart is failing," the chief healer said. "The damage is too deep." The queen looked down at Aaron's face. He looked young, too young to bleed for an alien crown. "Fix it," she said. "We may need to stop his heart," the healer replied carefully, "and restart it." Silence filled the chamber. Stopping a human heart was dangerous. Restarting it was worse. "Do it," the queen said. The healer hesitated. If we fail. If you do nothing, the queen said, he dies anyway. The healer bowed its head. The machines shifted position. Energy fields tightened. A soft hum filled the air. Aaron's heart stopped. The line on the display went flat. The queen's breath caught for the first time. Her fingers curled slowly into her palm. Now, the healer said. A surge of controlled energy pulsed through the human's chest. Once. Nothing. Again. The line jumped. A weak rhythm returned. The chamber released a quiet breath. He lives, the healer said. For now. The queen did not speak. She simply stood there, watching the rise and fall of his chest. Hours passed. The queen did not leave. Advisors came. She sent them away. Council members demanded answers. She ignored them. War reports arrived. She postponed them. At one point, a guard spoke softly. Your Majesty, you should rest. She did not turn. I will rest when he is stable, she replied. The guard said nothing more. At some point, Aaron moved. Just a little. His fingers twitched. The queen noticed immediately. She stepped closer. Aaron Hale, she said, speaking his name for the first time. His lips moved. No sound came out. The healer adjusted the field. He is not conscious, it said, but he is fighting. The queen studied his face. Scars marked his skin. Old ones. Deep ones. This was not his first war. Why? She asked quietly. The healer tilted its head. Why? What? Why would a human throw himself into death for a ruler not his own? She asked. The healer paused. We do not fully understand humans, it said, but they form bonds quickly, and when they choose to protect, they do not stop. The queen looked down again. You should not have survived, she whispered. Yet you did. The healer glanced at the displays. There is something else, it said slowly. The queen turned. Speak. The human nervous system is adapting, the healer explained. It is learning from the injury. Learning, the queen repeated. Yes, the healer said. Pain strengthens certain responses. Fear does not shut him down. It sharpens him. The queen was silent. Outside the chamber, the Empire waited. Inside, a human soldier lay between life and death, and the Queen of Aurelian stood watch. She did not know it yet, but this moment, these quiet hours beside a wounded human, were already changing her, and soon they would change the galaxy. The medical chamber was quiet, not empty, not calm, just quiet in a way that made every sound matter. Machines hummed softly around the human's body. Light shifted in slow patterns. Data streams flowed across transparent screens, showing heart rate, breath, and blood levels. Aaron Hale lay still. His chest rose and fell with help from the machines. His face was pale, his skin cold to the touch. The wound in his chest glowed faintly under the healing field, like a dying star refusing to fade. Queen Ceralis stood beside the bed. She had not moved for hours. Her guards had changed shifts twice. Advisors had come and gone. Messages had stacked unanswered. Still, she remained. One hand rested lightly on the edge of the medical bed. She did not touch him. Yet, the chief healer approached quietly. Your Majesty, it said, lowering its head, the human's condition is stable. For now. For now, the queen repeated. Yes, the healer said, but his body is under extreme stress. Pain responses are high. He may wake soon, or he may fall deeper. The queen nodded once. Stay ready. The healer hesitated. There is something else you should know. She looked at it. Speak. Humans experience pain differently, the healer said. When he wakes, it will not be gentle. The queen looked back at Aaron. He has known pain before, she said quietly. The healer said nothing more and stepped away. Time moved slowly. The queen watched every breath. Outside the chamber, tension grew. News of the assassination attempt had spread across the Empire. The assassin had not been found. The palace remained sealed. Nobles whispered in anger and fear. Some were offended. Some were afraid. Many were confused. Why would the queen stop everything for one human? Inside the chamber, the answer lay on the bed. Aaron's fingers twitched again. This time, it was stronger. The queen noticed instantly. She leaned closer. "Aaron, hail," she said softly. His brow tightened. His lips parted. A low sound escaped his throat, half breath, half pain. The machines reacted. Alarms flickered, then steadied. "He is waking," the healer said from across the room. The queen did not move away. Aaron's eyes opened. Just a little. The lights were too bright. His vision swam. Pain crashed into him all at once, sharp and deep, like fire under his skin. He tried to move. He couldn't. His breath caught. "Easy," a calm voice said. Not a machine. A voice. He forced his eyes to focus. Silver. Light. A face above him. Alien. Regal. Familiar. The queen. "You are safe," she said. "Do not move." Aaron tried to speak. Pain stole his strength. "Sure," she said gently. "You were wounded. You need to rest." His eyes widened slightly. Memory returned in broken pieces. The hole. The flicker. The shot. He swallowed. "Did it hit you?" he whispered. The queen felt something tighten in her chest. "No," she answered. "It hit you." A faint, weak breath escaped him. Almost a laugh. "Figures," he whispered. The healer moved closer. "You must remain still," it said. "Your body is damaged." Aaron's jaw clenched. "Being worse." The queen studied him. Even now, wounded, broken, his first thought had been her safety. "Why?" she asked. Aaron's eyes shifted back to her. "Why? What?" he asked weakly. "Why did you jump?" she asked. "You had no duty to do so." Silence filled the chamber. Aaron breathed slowly. "Someone had to," he said. "That is not an answer," the queen said. "It is to me," he replied. His eyes closed briefly. Pain surged again. The queen acted without thinking. She reached out and took his hand. The skin was rough, scarred, human. The healers froze. No ruler of Aurelian touched the wounded. Not like this. Not ever. Aaron felt the contact. Warm. Steady. He opened his eyes again. "You stayed," he murmured. "Yes," the queen said. "I am still here." His grip tightened slightly around her fingers. "Good," he whispered. "Didn't want to wake up alone." The word struck deeper than any weapon. The queen did not pull her hand away. Outside the chamber, a council aide demanded entry. She must attend the emergency council. The aide argued, "This is not proper." The guard shook his head. The queen ordered. Inside, the queen heard none of it. Aaron's breathing slowed. His eyes drifted shut again, exhaustion pulling him under. The healer checked the readings. "He is sleeping," it said quietly. "This is good." The queen nodded. She did not release his hand. Hours passed. The queen stood watch. She watched his chest rise and fall. She watched the machine struggle to understand him. She watched pain carve lines into his face even in sleep. She thought of the hole. The shot. The moment a human chose her life over his own. An advisor finally entered, careful and nervous. "Your Majesty," he said softly, "the council grows restless." The queen did not look away from the bed. "Let them wait," she said. "But—" "This human waited on a battlefield while death aimed at me," she said coldly. "They can wait longer." The advisor bowed and left. The queen remained. When Aaron stirred again, she was still there. When his heart faltered, she did not move. When the palace trembled with fear, she stood steady. And as the hours passed, a truth settled quietly in her mind. This human was no longer just a god. He was a shield. And the empire would soon learn what it meant to wound one who stood beside its queen. The palace council chamber filled with tension. The room was wide and circular, built from dark crystal and living metal. Floating seats arranged themselves in perfect order as the highest nobles and commanders of the Aurelian Empire took their places. Every seat was filled, except one. The queen's throne remained empty. Whispers moved through the chamber like insects. "She has delayed us again." For a human, this has never happened. At the center of the room, the Grand Council speaker struck the floor with his staff. "Order," he said. "We will begin." But the doors did not open. Minutes passed. Then the temperature in the chamber dropped. The doors slid apart. Queen Serelith entered. She wore no crown. That alone silenced the room. Her steps were slow, controlled, and heavy with purpose. Guards followed behind her, but she did not look at them. Her eyes swept the chamber once, cold and sharp. She took her seat. "You called for counsel," she said. "Speak." The Grand Council speaker cleared his throat. "Your Majesty, the Empire faces a grave crisis. An assassination attempt. A missing traitor. And yet, all operations were delayed." "Yes," the Queen said calmly. A noble rose from his seat. "You shut down the palace. You cancelled military briefings. You ignored the outer fleet." "Yes," the Queen repeated. "Because of one human," the noble demanded. The chamber stirred. The Queen's gaze locked onto him. "Because of one life," she corrected. Another noble stood. "That human is not Aurelian. He is not royal. He is not even noble." The Queen leaned back slightly. "He is alive," she said. "That is enough." Murmurs grew louder. A military commander rose next. "Your Majesty, with respect, the assassin remains free. Resources must be focused outward, not inward." "They are focused exactly where they need to be," the Queen replied. "Then explain," the commander said, "why you have placed a human above the Empire." Silence followed. The Queen stood. The room went still. She stepped forward, her voice low but clear. "You speak as if the Empire and that human are separate," she said. "They are not." She turned slowly, meeting every gaze. "He stood in the grand hall," she continued, "surrounded by giants, by gods stronger than him, faster than him." She paused. "And when death came for me, none of you moved." The word struck like a blade. The Queen's voice hardened. "But the human did." No one spoke. "He did not ask who I was," she said. "He did not calculate value. He did not hesitate." Her hand tightened at her side. "He chose." A noble scoffed. "He was paid." "He was dying," the Queen snapped. The chamber froze. "He was bleeding on the floor," she continued. "And his first question was not about reward. It was not about honor." She looked down briefly, then back up. "He asked if I lived." The silence became heavy. Another voice spoke, quieter now. "Even so, emotions cannot guide rule." The Queen turned toward the speaker. "You believe this is emotion?" she asked. "Yes," the noble said carefully. "Attachment is dangerous." The Queen took one step forward. "No," she said. "Blindness is dangerous." She lifted her hand. A hollow image appeared in the center of the chamber. It showed the grand hall, the flicker of lights, the assassin's raised arm, the human moving, the shot, the human falling, blood spreading across crystal. The image froze. "This," the Queen said, "is loyalty." No one argued. She lowered her hand, the image fading. "You fear what you do not understand," she said. "Humans are not fragile. They are not tools." She looked at the military commander. "They endure." She looked at the nobles. "They remember." She looked at the council speaker. "And when they choose to protect, they do so fully." The council speaker bowed his head slightly. "Your Majesty, the Empire still demands justice." "And it will have it," the Queen said. At that moment, a guard entered quickly and knelt. "Your Majesty," he said, breath tight, "we have located the assassin." The chamber erupted. "Where? How?" The Queen raised a hand. "Speak," she ordered. "The assassin attempted to leave through the lower transit vaults," the guard said. "He was injured. Human tactics were used to track him." The Queen's eyes narrowed. "Explain." "The wounded human," the guard said, "gave instructions before losing consciousness." Shock rippled through the chamber. He identified escape patterns. The guard continued. Predicted routes. Security blind spots. The Queen felt something cold and sharp settle in her chest. Even bleeding. Even dying. He had still been protecting her. "Is the assassin contained?" she asked. "Yes, Your Majesty, the guard said, he is surrounded. Do not kill him, the Queen ordered. I want answers. The guard bowed and left. The Queen turned back to the council. You question my focus, she said. Now you see its value. No one spoke. She stepped back toward her seat. The human lives, she said firmly, and because he lives, so does the Empire. She paused. From this moment forward, she added, any harm done to him will be treated as harm done to the throne. The chamber went completely silent. The Queen turned and left. She did not wait for approval. Back in the medical chamber, the lights were low. Machines hummed softly. Aaron Hale slept, unaware of councils or empires. The Queen returned to his side. She stood there, once more removing the weight of rule from her shoulders. Outside, the Empire argued. Inside, the Queen watched over the human who had reminded her, power is not held by those who sit on thrones. It is held by those willing to stand in front of them. The first thing Aaron felt was weight. Not on his chest, on his body. Like gravity itself had grown heavier. His breath came slow and shallow. Each breath burned, but not as sharply as before. The pain was still there, deep and constant, yet something held it back. A wall, a quiet force. He opened his eyes. Light greeted him, soft this time, not blinding. The ceiling above was smooth and curved, glowing faintly with alien symbols that moved like water. He was alive. That surprised him. He tried to move his fingers. They obeyed. Barely. A quiet sound reached his ears. Not a machine. Not an alarm. Breathing. Someone else was breathing in the room. Aaron turned his eyes to the side. Queen Serla sat beside the bed. Not standing. Sitting. Her posture was straight, but tired. Her eyes were focused on him, wide and alert, as if she had not looked away for a long time. Their eyes met. For a moment, neither spoke. You're awake, she said softly. Aaron swallowed. His throat felt dry. Guess. I failed, he whispered. The Queen frowned. Failed. Didn't stay unconscious, he said weakly. The corner of her mouth lifted, just slightly, the smallest sign of relief. You survived, she said. That is not failure. He breathed out slowly. Good, he murmured. Didn't want to cause trouble. The Queen stared at him. You stopped an empire from falling into chaos, she said. You caused trouble for death itself. Aaron blinked. That sounds expensive, he said. The healer across the room made a sharp sound of disbelief. Humans, it muttered. Aaron turned his eyes toward the healer. Doc, he whispered, am I allowed to joke? Yes, the healer replied flatly, but not to move. Aaron sighed. Figures. The Queen leaned closer. Do you know where you are? Medical Bay, Aaron answered. Big one. Fancy. You have been here for many hours, she said. I stayed. He looked at her again. You really didn't leave? He asked. No, she replied. Not once. Silence settled between them. Aaron's fingers twitched against the bed. Slowly, carefully, he lifted his hand. The Queen noticed immediately. She did not pull away when his fingers brushed hers. They said you shouldn't touch wounded soldiers, he said quietly. They were wrong, the Queen replied. His hand rested there, light but certain. Why are you here? He asked. The Queen did not answer right away. Because I chose to be, she said at last. Aaron studied her face. Then I guess we both make bad choices, he said. Her eyes narrowed slightly. You call protecting me a bad choice. He shrugged as much as his body allowed. Dangerous ones. Yes, she agreed, but necessary. The healer stepped closer. His condition remains unstable, it warned. Emotional stress is not advised. The Queen did not move. Then he will endure, she said, as he already has. Aaron's breathing grew steadier. Pain still lived in him, but it no longer owned him. What happened after? He asked. The assassin ran, the Queen said, but you helped us find him. Aaron frowned. I did? Yes, she said. Even while bleeding, you gave patterns. Roots. Human methods. He closed his eyes briefly. Habit, he murmured. The queen felt something heavy settle in her chest. You protect even when broken, she said. Is that what humans do? Aaron opened his eyes again. No, he said. That's what soldiers do. She nodded once. Then you are more than human, she said. You are a guardian. The word hung in the air. Aaron looked uncomfortable. Don't make it a big thing. It already is, the queen replied. Outside the chamber, nobles argued. Inside, the empire felt far away. Aaron shifted slightly. Pain spiked. He hissed. The queen's hand tightened gently around his. Easy, she said. Still hurts, he admitted. Yes, she said. But you are alive. That's new, he whispered. The healer adjusted the field. Rest, it ordered. You are not finished healing. Aaron nodded slowly. Before his eyes closed, he looked at the queen one last time. You didn't have to stay, he said. She met his gaze. Yes, she said. I did. Sleep pulled him under again, but this time it was deep and steady. The machines calmed. The alarm stayed silent. The healer studied the readings in surprise. His recovery has improved, it said. Significantly. The queen did not look away from the sleeping human. Good, she replied. Outside the chamber, word spread quickly. The human had awakened. He had spoken. He had lived. And for the first time, the empire understood something important. The queen did not stand alone anymore. She had a shield who breathed. And soon, the galaxy would learn what it meant when a human rose after falling. The lower transit vaults of the palace were dark. Not empty. Dark. Emergency lights glowed faintly along the walls, casting long shadows across the metal floor. Security fields hummed, locking exits and narrowing escape paths. At the center of it all, the assassin ran. His robes were torn. One arm hung useless at his side, burned by a glancing shot. Blood, dark and thick, dripped onto the floor with every step. He should have escaped. The plan had been perfect, but a human had ruined it. He turned sharply into a service tunnel and stopped. Royal guards blocked the path. Behind him, another squad sealed the exit. The assassin snarled. This is not over, he hissed. A voice answered from behind the guards. It is, the voice said calmly. The guard stepped aside. Queen Serelith walked forward. She was alone. The assassin's eyes widened. You risk yourself again. No, the queen replied. I end this. She lifted her hand. Energy restraint snapped around the assassin's limbs, slamming him to his knees. He struggled, then laughed. You protect a human, he sneered. That weakness will destroy you. The queen's eyes did not change. That human protected me, she said. Your weakness revealed itself first. She turned to the guards. Take him to holding. The assassin twisted. He will die, he spat. Humans always do. The queen stopped. Her voice dropped. He is still breathing, she said. That alone proves you wrong. The guards dragged the assassin away. Across the palace, in the medical chamber, alarm suddenly flared. Aaron's body tensed. Pain surged through him like fire. The healer reacted instantly. He is reacting to stress responses. It said, something external. Aaron's eyes flew open. Assassin, he gasped. The queen's voice came through the chamber communicator moments later. It is over, she said. He is contained. Aaron's breathing slowed. Good, he whispered. Don't underestimate him. We will not, the queen replied. Even restrained, the assassin was dangerous. Interrogation chambers were sealed. Energy dampeners activated. The room glowed with containment fields designed to hold beasts far stronger than one alien noble. The assassin sat restrained, head lifted proudly. You will learn nothing, he said. The queen entered. This time, she wore her crown. The assassin laughed again. Back to being a ruler. Yes, she said, and you are back to being small. She gestured. A holo display appeared. It showed maps of the palace. Escape routes. Hidden paths. Human markings covered them. Predicted movements. False turns. Traps. You see this? The queen asked. A wounded human drew these. The assassin's smile faded. He was bleeding, she continued, his vision fading. And yet he outthought you. Silence. You failed, she said. The assassin's eyes burned with hate. You will regret sparing him. I did not spare him, the queen replied. I honored him. She leaned closer. And now you will answer. Hours later, the truth spread across the empire. The assassin was no lone actor. He was part of a faction that feared unity, feared humans, feared change. His capture shattered them. Back in the medical chamber, Aaron slept. But his rest was restless. Dreams of war pulled at him. Old battles, old screams. His breathing quickened. The queen returned to his side. She placed a hand on his shoulder. Easy, she said softly. His body relaxed. The healer watched in silence. Your presence stabilizes him, it said. Then I will remain, the queen replied. When Aaron woke again, his eyes were clearer. Did we win? He asked quietly. The queen smiled, not cold, not royal. Human. Yes, she said, because of you. He exhaled. Then it was worth it. Outside the chamber, guards stood straighter. Nobles spoke carefully. The assassin was finished. But something else had begun. The empire had seen a human endure what should have killed him. They had seen loyalty without reward. They had seen courage without command. And they had learned something dangerous. Wounding a human protector did not end a threat. It created one. Soon, the final truth would be spoken before the throne, and the galaxy would hear it. The day Aaron Hale stood again, the palace felt different. Not louder, not brighter, heavier. The medical chamber doors opened slowly as Aaron took his first steps without support. His movements were careful, controlled. The wound in his chest still ached, a deep reminder of how close death had come. But he walked. That alone shocked many. Guards watched in silence. Healers stood still. No one spoke. At the far end of the hall, Queen Serelith waited. She wore her crown, not floating, set firmly in place. When Aaron reached her, he stopped and tried to straighten his posture. Guess I'm still on duty, he said quietly. The queen studied him. You were never off duty, she replied. They walked together toward the grand hall. Word had spread across the empire. Every noble, every commander, every diplomat. They had been summoned. The grand hall was full again. But this time, there was no celebration. Only attention. Aaron stood at the queen's side as she took her throne. He did not kneel. He did not bow. He simply stood. The queen raised her hand. Today, she said, her voice echoing through crystal and air, this empire closes a wound and opens its eyes. She gestured toward Aaron. This human stood where death aimed for me, she continued. He bled without hesitation. He endured without promise. Murmurs spread. She stepped down from the throne. Once more, the queen walked toward the human. Gasps filled the hall. She stopped beside him. There is a space at my side, she said clearly. It has always been empty. Her hand lifted, and today it is filled. A symbol appeared in the air, ancient, powerful, the mark of the royal protector. Aaron's eyes widened slightly. Your Majesty, he began. She raised one finger. You did not ask for this, she said, which is why you deserve it. The mark settled into place beside the throne. A new position, a new truth. From this moment forward, the queen announced, Aaron Hale stands a protector of the throne. His life is bound to the empire, and the empire is bound to him. Silence. Then one noble stepped forward and bowed. Another followed, then another, until the entire hall bent, not to the throne alone, but to the human beside it. Aaron swallowed. He felt the weight of it now. Not power, responsibility. The queen turned to him. You changed the fate of this empire, she said softly. Do you regret it? Aaron thought of the shot, the pain, the darkness. Then he looked at the hall, at the people, at the queen. No, he said, I'd do it again. The queen nodded once. That, she said, is why humanity will never stand alone again. Later, as the hall emptied, Aaron stood quietly beside the throne. "You could have picked anyone," he said. "Yes," the queen replied, "but I chose the one who chose me first." Outside the palace, the news spread across worlds. A human had taken a shot meant for a queen. A queen had stood beside a human, and the galaxy understood a new rule. When humanity stands, it does not stand behind. It stands beside. And no empire forgets the cost of trying to break that bond. The end.